With me, Fatimat Anjal, Imaduddin School. Now for the news in detail. Today marks the Children's Day in Maldives. While we celebrate Children's Day, we have significant issues to be regarded. As we remind ourselves of children's rights, it is important to talk about the time such rights have been neglected.
Children are any country's most crucial capital. The country's future is dependent on how they are raised and what they think of the country. Children's Day is celebrated to remind the importance of children, to ensure the rights of children are to be protected, not oppressed. It is also marked to show them the importance in the country. So, as we celebrate Children's Day today, it is important for us to remind ourselves about child rights. It is important to join our hands in providing a safer environment. It is a responsibility of each one of us. For responsible citizens to be developed, this generation children's rights need to be protected. They need to be provided with proper education. Today, child maltreatment has become a national epidemic. The numbers of children neglected are not few in numbers. So, as we celebrate Children's Day today, it is important for each of us to protect their rights, to be familiar about those rights and to know the laws related to children. Children's rights include the right to health, education, family life, play and recreation, an adequate standard of living, and to be protected from abuse and harm. These actions cannot be stopped unless we all work together. The stakeholders should work with the public. We as the public must not neglect them by hiding such actions. A hotline has been established by the Gender Ministry to report such cases. Such actions can be reported to the toll-free number 1412 at any time. Children will grow up to be responsible citizens. Development of the country lies in the hands of this generation's children. They grow up to be leaders. So let us all work together and protect their rights.
Public service media says it aims to create a healthy competitive environment among schools in the country on every Children's Broadcasting Day.
Every year, Children's Broadcasting Day is celebrated on May 10 with an aim of expanding and enhancing the role of media in the country and abroad, and also to make the young generation aware of this field. In addition, public service media PSM also aims to create a well-aware young generation to the field with the latest technologies. Under this objective, PSM has also involved selected students from schools in the daily bulletins and programs of the news agency. In an interview with PSM News, Deputy Managing Director of PSM, Muhammad Ikram Abdul Latif, said the company has been carrying out such programs by conducting meetings with managements of schools beforehand. In this regard, Muhammad Ikram Abdul Latif stated, PSM aims to create a healthy, competitive environment amongst the schools in the country on every Children's Broadcasting Day. Children's Day of Broadcasting was launched by UNICEF in 1991 in order to encourage broadcasters worldwide to create awareness of children issues. The day was first celebrated on 21st of December.
Minister of Gender and Family Zanisha Shahid Zaki calls on the importance of ideas and concerns raised by children while taking decisions relating to them. The Gender Minister made the statement while addressing the closing ceremony of the Child Promotion Forum held at Champa Central Hotel.
Ministry of Gender and Family and United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF have collaborated to conduct the Child Promotion Forum in both Male City and Willingili of Gafal, if at all. According to the information provided by the Gender Ministry, 24 students from Gafal Ifetol Education Center took part in the forum, while 25 students from Center for Higher Secondary Education, Bila International High School, Ahmadiyya International School, and Maldives Girl Guide Association participated from Male City. Addressing the closing ceremony, Minister of Gender and Family Zanisha Shahid Zaki said it is important to hear and address concerns raised by children. In this regard, Minister Zanisha called to involve children in social activities rather than constricting them with strict instructions. Addressing the ceremony, country representative of UNICEF Muhammad Al-Munir Safiluddin said it is important to acknowledge the role of children in the society. In this regard, Muhammad Al-Munir Safaluddin applauded the administration of President Abdullah Yamin Abdul Qayyum for its efforts in ensuring the rights of children.
I want to confirm one thing to all of them, that we take this moment today when celebrating the National Children's Day to once again tell all the children in the Maldives by words and by actions how much we love them, how much we care for them, and how much we appreciate their presence in our life.
The participants of the forum expressed the forum has been a grand opportunity to enhance the leadership skills and to get to know and enhance their role in the society.
It was very informative. I got to interact with a lot of other students from around the other schools, and we got to share our ideas, and I found that we had a lot of common ground in the issues that we raised in both the forum held in Mala as well as the one held in Gafalif. So it seems that since this is a common issue, we should work together to eradicate all this.
I have learned that there are a lot of issues in Maldives since there were two different forums attended in Male and even Gafalif Vinigili. So I knew that a lot of different issues are there, not only in Male as well as in the islands.
I knew that we have help for whatever problems that we face.
Closing of the Child Promotion Forum was attended by high-level dignitaries from the government ministries, Maldives Police Service, Girl Guide Association and educational institutions in the capital city. Ministry of Gender and Family and UNICEF Maldives has concluded a successful round of Child Participation Forum both in Gafalif, Vilingili and Mala City. As per information provided by Gender Ministry, this forum is aimed to enhance the role of children in the society. From Champa Central Hotel, Ismail Azim, PSM News.
Department of Higher Education opens application opportunities for High Achievers Scholarship. The Higher Education Department revealed application forms will be accepted before May 24, and the forms will be available from the department's website. According to the guidelines of the High Achievers Scholarship, countries for the scholarships are limited to Maldives, Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, China, and member countries of SAARC. The department said opportunities to attain higher studies in other countries can also be arranged within the guidelines. Minister of Youth and Sports Irtisham Adam states the opportunity to train in Hulma running track is open for international athletes. Speaking with PSM Sports, Youth Minister Irtisham Adam said the track established in Hulmala is not only open for Maldivians, adding opportunities will be extended to international athletes as well. Noting the track is a crucial tool for Maldivian athletes, Minister Irtisham expressed the track can also be used by public and other sports personnel. Moreover, the minister expressed hope to witness major achievements from Maldivian athletes trained using the track in Hulmale. Speaking with PSM Sports, President of Athletics Association Muhammad Thalal noted establishment of the track will ease the training process of Maldivian athletes. Highlighting the training session of a Serbian long jump champion, Thalal said she praised the quality of the track and the environment. The Serbian long jump champion Ivana Spenovic recently held her training sessions in the Hulmale track. High-Rise Private Limited reveals plans to hold Vacation Expo from July 5th to 7th.
Vacation Expo is a platform which showcases services in travel for the Maldivians and expatriates living in the country. The purpose of the event is to promote, lead and advance the travel and tourism industry. It will act as a perfect business platform that is to be attended by a huge number of locals and expatriates, trade professionals and business owners associated with travel sector both inbound and outbound. According to the organizers, as Maldivians are used to travel, explore new places and experience adventure, via the expo, exhibitors will get the grand chance to display various attractive travel packages and services by top travel companies around Asia, who provides best travel deals to travelers from Maldives. In addition, travel within the country is also expected to get a boost with the display of local services such as guest houses and water sports organizers. Furthermore, the exhibition would provide the visitors with attractive and special packages for locals and expatriates from luxury resorts and airlines.
Maldives Monetary Authority states the volume of fish exports grew by 55% in annual terms in 2017.
According to the annual report 2017 of Maldives Monetary Authority MMA, the volume of fish exports grew by 55% in annual terms and amounted to 72,000 metric tons during 2017. The growth was largely propelled by a rise in the export volumes of frozen skipjack and frozen yellowfin tuna. A significant increase in export volumes of canned or pouched tuna also contributed to higher fish export volume in 2017. Following a positive turnaround in 2016, the fisheries sector was observed to have further strengthened during 2017, as indicated by the impressive growth of fish purchases by fish processing companies and the increase in volume of fish exports. Fish purchases registered a remarkable growth of 42% in annual terms and amounted to 76.6 thousand metric tons in 2017. The increase was largely driven by a significant rise in skipjack tuna purchases, coupled with moderate growth in yellowfin tuna purchases. Skipjack and yellowfin tuna collectively accounted for the bulk of purchases, which is about 98% of total purchases made by fish processing companies. It is noteworthy the share of big eye tuna, a high-value fish, was observed to have fallen during the past 2 years. The overall trend of fish purchases throughout the year was observed to follow the typical trend, with purchases declining around mid-year. This can be attributed to a decline in fishing activity because of monsoonal rains during this period. With respect to price developments in the domestic tuna market, the local fish processing companies maintained their purchasing price for both fresh and iced skipjack tuna during the first half of the year, and revised their prices upwards during the latter half of the first time since July 2014. This was roughly in line with skipjack tuna prices in the international market, which followed an upward trend from the second quarter of the year until October 2017. Yellowfin tuna prices remained relatively volatile throughout the year, starting at $4.35 per kilogram in January 2017 and closing at a lower price of $4.03 per kilogram in December 2017. The upsurge in the volume of fish exports during the year also pointed towards the strong performance of the fisheries sector.
In international news, we have elected opposition coalition's leader Mahathir Mohamad says there is an urgency to form a new government after his alliance secured a majority in general elections.
The 2-year-old coalition Pakatan Harapan defeated the long-ruling Barisan Nasional coalition in the polls. Barisan Nasional has ruled since Malaysia's independence from Britain for nearly 60 years ago. Mahathir Mohamad in his campaign had also seized on popular disquiet about Chinese investment pouring into Malaysia and turned it into an election issue. Mahathir, who was the country's prime minister for more than 2 decades, has vowed to reconsider Chinese contracts. Mahathir also promised to give a full pardon to former rival and jailed politician Anwar Ibrahim. Mahathir had promised to seek a royal pardon for Anwar if they win the election, and once Anwar is free, to step aside and let him become a prime minister.
In sports, former Manchester United manager Alex Ferguson is out of intensive care after undergoing emergency surgery.
Alex Ferguson, the most successful manager in Manchester United's history, had brain hemorrhage surgery on Saturday. The Premier League club said in a statement on Twitter, Sir Alex no longer needs intensive care and will continue rehabilitation as an inpatient. The club said his family have been overwhelmed by the level of support and good wishes, but continue to request privacy as this will be vital during this next stage of recovery. The 76-year-old Scot was United manager from 1986 to 2013, winning the Champions League twice, the Premier League 13 times and 5 FA Cups.
In lifestyle, according to findings by researchers published in the scientific journal Marine Pollution Bulletin, coral reef coverage of the main Samoan islands of Upolu sank to less than 10% due to global warming and other local factors in the area.
Scientists participating in the 2.5-year Tara Pacific expedition aimed at observing and sampling isolated coral reefs in the Pacific Ocean said they did not expect to find the reef in such poor health when they began in November 2016. After observing the damaged reef, the team decided to extend their study from 3 sites to 124 around Upolu, which covers over 80 kilometers of coastline. A researcher at the French Alternative Energies and Atomic Energy Commission CEA, who spent a month on board the expedition, Valerie Barbet said throughout the sites there was less than 1% of living corals, and there are only 2 zones with 40 and 60% of living coral. Despite the distance of Upolu from large urban centers, scientists discovered that coral coverage was extremely low, less than 1% on approximately half of the sites and less than 10% on 78% of the 124 sites they studied. A research director in oceanographic microbiology at France's National Center for Scientific Research, CNRS, said climate change combined with local factors such as pollution and overfishing are mainly responsible for the coral's death. Coral die-off is also considerably due to bleaching, which occurs when the water is too warm, forcing coral to expel living algae and causing it to calcify and turn white. Mildly bleached coral can recover if the temperature drops, otherwise it may die. Although the impact has been exacerbated by one of the strongest El Nino weather systems in nearly 20 years, scientists believe climate change is the underlying cause. The French scientist research sailing boat Tara is now in Japan. Having collected more than 25,000 samples to study the health of coral reefs and the impact of climate change, the boat should complete its voyage in October.
That's all for this hour. Thank you for watching PSM News. Have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.